All right, let's just get right into it. If you do SEO for a living, you've been there. You've got these amazing tools like Ahrefs, and you're just swimming in a sea of data, backlinks, keywords, competitor reports, you name it. But then it's time to actually do something, and you're stuck. You know what the data says, but you have no idea what to do next. Well, this whole thing is about closing that gap for good. And this right here is the absolute core of the problem, isn't it? I bet this one hits close to home for a lot of you. It's kind of like a doctor handing you this super detailed medical report and just saying, well, good luck. The tools are great at giving you a diagnosis, like, hey, your competitor has 50 more links, but they don't write the prescription. They don't tell you how to actually get better. And that leads us to the question, the one that can totally paralyze even seasoned pros. It's that moment where you stop analyzing and you have to start, well, you have to start building, to start growing traffic. So today, we're going to tackle that head on by totally reframing how we look at our tools. First things first, let's put a name to this frustration. I like to call it the SEO data trap. And trust me, it is incredibly easy to fall into. So does this little cycle look familiar? You pull the reports, you stare at the spreadsheets, you find what you think are opportunities, and then nothing. You hit a wall. The path from that aha moment to actually getting something done is super foggy. So you just go back to step one, right? You collect even more data, hoping this time it'll magically give you a clear answer. And this whole problem has a name. It's the strategy gap. Think of it as this giant canyon between knowing your competitor has a ton of backlinks and knowing what blog post you should write tomorrow morning. It's exactly why just blindly chasing links without a real content plan behind it almost never leads to the kind of growth you're looking for. Okay, so keeping that strategy gap in mind, let's have a look at the tools out there. How do the big names really stack up when we stop looking at them as just data providers and start asking, can they help us do something? Now, this table is super interesting because it changes the whole conversation. Yeah, Ahrefs is excellent for backlink analysis. No surprise there, we all know that. And SEMrush is a really strong all-around tool. But look over at the other columns, strategy planning and content generation. This is where you see a totally different kind of tool, like Vyndow, designed from the ground up to close that strategy gap we've been talking about. Realizing this exists, it really means we need to think differently. We need to shift our whole workflow. It's time to stop being data collectors and start being strategic executors. And this just lays it out so perfectly. The old way is you get data and then you just guess. Maybe we should write about this topic, or let's try to get a link over there. It's all guesswork. The new way is a real system. Data feeds into a solid strategy, and that strategy tells you exactly what to execute. No more shooting in the dark. You know, this is such an important reminder for all of us. These data-heavy tools can accidentally give you tunnel vision, making you obsess over just backlinks. But real, sustainable growth, it's holistic. It's like a balanced diet, right? You need great content, solid tech SEO, and good links. If you only focus on one piece of that puzzle, you're just not going to grow, period. So what does a tool that's built for this new way actually look like? How is it fundamentally different when its main job is to help you execute, not just analyze? An execution-focused tool just has a different DNA. It's not going to just give you a list of 10,000 keywords. It's going to help you organize them into a content plan. It won't just show you a competitor's article. It's going to help you create a better one. It's built around things like integrated strategy, guided content creation, and focusing on what's working now, like AI search and local results. The whole point is to turn insights into action fast. All right, so the big question, how do you pick? Well, the best tool is simply the one that matches your main goal right now. Let's do a quick fire round to figure out what's right for you. Okay, first up, if your primary goal, your obsession, is deep diving into backlink data, you live and breathe trust flow and link audits, then a super specialized tool like Majestic is probably your jam. Now, what if you need the whole shebang? The Swiss Army knife that does everything from PPC research to site audits for a bigger team. Well, then a huge comprehensive platform like SEMrush is the obvious fit. What if you're on a tight budget? Maybe you're just starting out and your main goal is just some affordable competitor research. For that, a tool like SpyFu is a fantastic way to get in the game without breaking the bank. And for all my agency people out there, if your biggest pain point isn't getting the data, but packaging it all up into beautiful reports for your clients, then a tool like Raven Tools is literally built to solve that exact problem. And finally, if you're the person we've been talking about this whole time, the one who's got the data but feels completely stuck, then your real goal is execution. And that's where an execution-focused tool like Vyndow is designed to shine. And what's really wild is that focusing on execution doesn't mean you have to pay more. Actually, it's the opposite. As you can see, the big data platforms have some pretty hefty price tags. A tool that's laser-focused on strategy and content can actually be way more accessible, giving you a completely different kind of ROI. So let's bring this all home. If you take away just one single thing from all this, what should it be? This is it. The answer to being overwhelmed with data isn't more data, it's clarity. It's a plan. It's about finally building a system to turn everything you already know into something you're actually going to do. So ultimately, that's the choice you have to make. Are you going to keep running reports and filling spreadsheets, or are you going to start building your content engine? The right tool isn't the one with the biggest database, it's the one that actually helps you get from analysis to action. Thanks for tuning in.